Hello, welcome back. Today's painting is a blue hour painting. It's something I've done a lot in the past, and it's something that I always kind of come back to is this color scheme of like a teal, dark blue, and then I always kind of add like a contrasting color, like a complementary color, like a red or orange or something like that. This painting was honestly quite a challenge, not gonna lie. It probably took me a few days, and it was mostly because of it was kind of the color mixtures, but also I needed everything to kind of fade into the background, so it was hard to get that right. But I am gonna be going over all the steps, everything, so you'll see everything I did to make this painting, and then I'll also go over the materials. Probably some tips and tricks, and then today I'm also going to try and show a little bit of the palette paper and how I mix my paints, because I think that's a helpful thing for you guys to know. This was requested a few times on my channel and then also on my Instagram to do a blue hour painting, so hope you guys enjoy. So stick around and you'll see how I painted it. Alright, so jumping right in, I'm going to go over my materials real quick. I chose to use this bigger canvas. This is like a wooden canvas, and then has masonite board, and then I just gessoed it. I was going to do I have these two smaller panels that I was going to work with, but I've been trying to push myself to paint bigger, so I'm going to do this 8x10. But feel free to do like a 5x7 or whatever, whatever you feel like you want to do. I'm going to be using acrylics for today's painting. I'm going to be using these gallery acrylics by Winsor&Newton. I was maybe going to do gouache, but I've been on like an acrylic hook for the last, I don't know, few months, so I'm going to kind of stick with that. I'm going to be using a palette paper. So this is already done, but I'm going to flip it up and use a new palette paper. 2 jars of water, per usual. The paintbrushes I'm going to be using are just like mix matched. I have some Princeton, some Winsor&Newton, a few other kinds. Pretty much just a jumbo paintbrushes. I'm not too worried about that. I have a paper towel, pencil. Alright, so this is my setup. I got an easel. I put the canvas on the easel. I have my palette paper to the right, washes to the right, paintbrushes to the left. I'll probably have paint over here. But hoping that if I like sit down, my shoulder won't be in the way. Yeah, this will be fine, I think. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do a wash for this painting, like an underpainting. I'm gonna use like a little bit of a combination of all 3 of these. I kind of want it to be like a dark and moody painting, so usually I would do like a hot pink, but that's not gonna work with this painting, so I'm gonna go ahead and do like a combination of these 3. Kind of a light wash, not too dark. And I always kind of start in one of these corners, kind of like right here. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a light wash. I'm just gonna grab blue, something like this, that works. Maybe a little bit more brown. And then I'm just going to kind of go over the whole painting with this color. It's just to kind of set the tone for this painting, and so I'm not painting on white per se. I definitely could, this can be a lot darker down here because the bottom of this painting is going to be quite dark. Alright, now I'm gonna just sketch out this painting with just a 2B regular pencil, so. And I'm gonna get started with this bright flat brush. And kind of, I think the key for these blue hour paintings is to really get the colors right in the beginning so that you don't have to go over stuff. So I'm really gonna try and get the color of the sky first, and then I'll put in the trees and everything else. So, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna go in and start kind of forming some of these shapes. I'm gonna use a little bit smaller of a brush, but still pretty big, just to kind of get the overall shape of these like distant movie trees. It's important for like foggy and misty paintings to kind of blend everything out. So you'll probably see me like go over the sky a few times, go over the trees a few times, and like keep doing that till I kind of get it to the spot that I want it at. Alright, so here I'm just kind of grabbing these colors and mixing. I tend to have like a few spots I work in, and then I just kind of like, it's pretty chaotic, but I'll just grab a little bit of everything until I get the color. And then sometimes I'll like test it out on the page and then like go back, oh that's not right, needs to be a little bit lighter or whatever. So this is what kind of my process for mixing looks like. Okay, so now I'm gonna, after I got this background done, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a darker shade and start doing the middle ground trees. This will just be like a little bit darker, and then you'll see me kind of go back and forth again, mixing the sky with the colors to kind of like smooth it all out. You'll probably see me do that a few times. Okay, so you'll see me kind of go in with this smaller brush. I'm really just getting a few details in, and then I'm bouncing out with this brush because I really just need to get some of these like outside details, and then the rest is going to be with a bigger brush. But sometimes you just have to do this because the leaves are like so intricate that I can't get the detail I want with a bigger brush. So I'll use this small, and it's like I don't even know, a round Princeton brush. It's a number 1. So it's not even like I'm just kind of just going everywhere with it. This is like one of those brushes I love because it's like not that expensive and I can kind of just use it however I want. It could be like a little bit of a detail. So this is what my palette paper looked at the end. Kind of crazy. I think I only used one piece of paper, which is honestly very surprising because I usually use like 3 or 2. But you can see I did a lot of mixing. I would usually start with like primary colors, maybe like 5 or 6 of them, the main colors, and then I would kind of like work my way down and mix all of them. So you'll see I have like 3 different spots. One here, one there, one there, one there. Those are like 4 different spots. Like 4 different sessions I did while painting this. And you can see I kind of mix the colors here. Everything's dry right now, but I'm looking at a new page, but I'm gonna wait for that. So I just got finished with this bad boy. And I honestly, it was quite a challenge this time around, but I do like how it turned out. And I think I'm not finished quite yet, but I'm at a good place to stop. Here's also some details. Like I said, oh wait, hold on. Gotta get that autofocus. Like I said, it's not quite finished. It seems a little like it needs a little bit more. So I might add something up here, or something to the barn later on, because it just seems like it needs a little something, you know. So, but for now I'm happy the way it is, and it's a good place for me to stop.